When you face challenges, do you feel an inner strength you can fully explain? How much do your spiritual or faith based beliefs impact the way you respond to stress? Do you notice patterns where trusting something bigger than yourself changes the outcome of a situation? How would your life change if you fully believe in your own inner resilience, supported by faith? Hold on to these questions, friends, because in today's episode, we're going to explore how faith, belief, and spirituality are not just feelings, they are powerful tools that literally shape your brain. But before we dig into this juicy episode, I want to remind you that the private Facebook community Rewired to Align is ready for you, and I think it will be great if you come and join us because you're going to find like-minded souls like you and me going through this beautiful journey of personal development. And you're going to see every day different posts that are going to make you reflect, make you laugh, and also just share your experiences. And the best thing about it is community, because it's a bunch of people like you and me. So make sure to check that out. And also remember, if you want to get into alignment and create the life that you truly desire, I am here for you. You can work with me and you have options. You can jump into a One Clarity call, or you can just go ahead and get a bundle of sessions if you have something specific that you want to work on. So make sure to check the links in the show notes. I'm going to leave them for you so that you can check it out. And then I see you on the inside. Now, let's get started with that episode. Hello, beautiful soul. What beliefs do you hold about yourself that might be limiting your potential? In what areas of your life do you feel you are not living authentically? What fears prevent you from expressing your true self? In what ways do you feel disconnected from your higher self, and what beliefs contribute to this disconnection? Welcome to Neuro Soul Sync, a podcast that blends neuroscience and spirituality, exploring the connection of our spiritual and emotional lives with the neuroscience of our bodies and brain. I'm Michelle Marie, your host, certified spiritual neurocoach, IVF twin mompreneur, lover of human design, and all things personal development. A few years ago, I felt exactly like that, yearning to live on purpose and authentically. I wanted to live fearlessly, prioritizing my needs and creating a life aligned to my core values and beliefs. And I was able to master this through neuroplasticity, spirituality, energetics, and the exact simple tools I will share with you here. I believe that when we are in alignment with who we are, life transforms from stuck and resistant to a journey of flow, impacting not only ourselves, but the collective consciousness. So if you're ready to get in the driver's seat of your life, live with authenticity, and discover simple yet powerful solutions that will guide you from feeling stuck to fulfill, this is your sacred space. Let's get ready to vibe high, align, and manifest. Welcome to the podcast, friend. Welcome to Neuro Soul Sync. My name is Michelle Marie, and I am your favorite spiritual neuro coach. And I'm super happy that you're here. How are you doing? How is your Tuesday? Have you been able to do any of the practices I have mentioned in the previous podcast episodes? I am hoping you do, because remember, the most important part of taking in all the information is actually integration. You have to put it into practice, right? And before we dive in, I want you to pause for a moment and do this tiny exercise to open your mind and your heart so that we can be together here today. So wherever you are, of course, if you're driving, don't do this, but wherever you are, sit down comfortably and take 3 deep, slow breaths. Inhale for 4, hold for 2, exhale for 6. Do that 2 more times and feel your body grounding with each breath. And then what I want you to do as you take those deep breaths is you're gonna place a hand on your heart and silently say to yourself, I am open to guidance, clarity, and strength. And you're going to visualize one challenge or uncertainty that you have in your life right now. And you're going to imagine a gentle light, your faith, your inner wisdom surrounding that situation. And you're going to feel calm and supported and resilient. Take one more deep breath, and when you exhale, carry that sense of openness into this episode. Okay, beautiful soul, how do you feel now? Are you ready to dive into this episode with me? All right, that's great. Let's do it. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with the neuroscience first, okay? So, studies have shown that spiritual practices, whether it's prayer, is meditation, or simply holding a belief in something larger than yourself, can strengthen neural pathways associated with resilience, emotional regulation, and even cognitive flexibility. Yes, this is true. You can Google it. And here's what's happening in your brain. When you engage in spiritual practices, your prefrontal cortex, which I know by now you know because we mentioned this before here, including last week, this part of your brain that is responsible for reasoning, decision making, self regulation, and perspective taking, it becomes more active. And then your amygdala, which is the one that drives the fight or flight response, can also quiet down. What does this mean for you? It means that you're less reactive to stress and more able to respond from clarity rather than fear. So you're not reacting, you are responding. And what I have said before to you is that when you do this, you're actually consciously creating the life that you are living, right? And here's a fun neuroscience nugget. Research suggests that belief itself can trigger the release of one of our favorite neurotransmitters. And can you guess which one it is? The feel-good neurotransmitter, dopamine, and also oxytocin, which strengthens feelings of connection and trust. In other words, beautiful soul, your faith literally rewires your brain to feel more secure, more hopeful, and more capable of navigating life challenges. Yes, friend. That's all in research, and you can find some of these studies if you go to the internet because it has been conducted by different journals and different universities like Harvard Medical School and also different doctors that have done it. Dr. Lisa Miller, she's amazing. Go find her in Instagram if you can. She's a professor in Columbia University and she's the founder of the Spirituality Mind Body Institute. And it's great that we have this, that we can, it's tangible. You can read it, you can see it. We have these studies. So now that we know the neuroscience behind it, let's talk about faith as a cognitive anchor. And let me tell you what a cognitive anchor is. It's the first piece of information your brain latches onto when you're trying to figure something out. I mean, let me see. See it like the anchor of a ship. The anchor hits the seafloor first, right? And sets the ship's position, and the ship stays pretty close to that spot. That's how I can explain it. Well, your brain does the same thing. It drops a mental anchor, and your later thoughts tend to stay a little close to that first idea, even if it wasn't the best place to start. Do you follow me so far? I hope that you are. And before I go into explaining how faith is a stabilizing force for your mind, I'm going to share something very personal. And I don't know if you have visited my website, michellemaripacheco.com, where I tell you a little bit of my story. But if you haven't, I'm going to explain to you here that there have been two defining times in my life where faith became more than just a belief. It became my lifeline, literally. During my IVF journey and during my cancer journey. I mean, I suffered so much during IVF. I thought I was going to die. Yes, thought I was going to die. You can read more about it. And then in my cancer journey, even though I was grounded and unshakable, I had to really be very faithful, very faithful, plus using all the tools that I know, right? So subconscious rewiring, all the positive talk, the self-talk rampages, all these tools that I'm talking to you here in conjunction with faith helped me move through these difficult times. Why? Because both times brought a lot of fear, a lot of fear, a lot of uncertainty, and moments where I felt completely out of control. So faith was my deep, deep anchor. I had to really anchor myself in the knowing that I was supported by something bigger than me that allowed me to quiet my racing thoughts and find the strength to keep moving forward. And this is what saved me. The primarily savior, the primary anchor was faith, even though I used other tools to support it. So faith didn't erase the pain or the fear, but what it did was that it gave me a way to navigate through them with courage, clarity, and hope. And I want you to know that if you ever face a challenge that left you questioning everything, you are not alone, and that faith can do that for you. It can be your anchor. Let me tell you, I'm going through something right now, very deep, that I have faith again that everything is going to be okay. So, you see where I'm going with this? Think of faith as a stabilizing force for your mind. When you know that you are supported by something bigger than you, your brain doesn't have to work overtime in fear or in doubt. It frees up mental energy so that you can focus on creative solutions and growth and on your highest vision. This is where spirituality and neuroscience meet. And this is my jam, and you know it. Your nervous system, because remember, our nervous system is a big key here. When it's reinforced by faith, it learns that not every uncertainty needs to be a threat. You become more resilient in relationships, in career transitions, in personal growth, in difficult moments in health. This is going to anchor you and it's going to hold you. So I want you to mentally really process this, and let it sit with you. If you're going through challenges right now, know that faith can be your anchor. And if you want to share things with me, like your journey, you can do so. You can DM me, you can ask me any questions, because I have been there many times. And I want to now take this moment to share a simple exercise with you, and it's the following. When a challenge arises, what I want you to do is to pause and ask yourself, what is the higher purpose here? And how is this guiding me? What is the higher purpose here, and how is this guiding me? And this isn't just a spiritual question. It's a neural exercise, a brain exercise. You're activating your prefrontal cortex. You're calming your amygdala, right? That fight or flight. And you're engaging your brain's reward system, dopamine, by focusing on meaning rather than stress. And this is exactly what I did in my cancer journey, which it was just a couple of months ago when the doctor told me, you are positive, you tested positive to cancer. I took the pause, I regulated with her on the phone, thank you very much. And after having my conversation with her of, okay, I understand what is the next step, what I need to do, what is the process, et cetera, and I hung up the phone, the first thing I asked myself was, okay, I'm going through this right now. What is the higher purpose here? What is the higher purpose? And I went inside my house because I was outside in my beautiful backyard when this happened. Went inside my house, sat down in my dining room table, grabbed my journal, my beautiful journal, and I started writing because I wanted to see, or more or less ground myself and see the bigger picture. Okay? So when you're facing a challenge, you have to take that pause, my friend. Well, you don't have to, but you should. You should take the pause and ask yourself, what is the higher purpose here? And how is this guiding me? Every challenge is an opportunity. And we have to see it like that because we decided to come here down to earth to experiment and experience all the beautiful things it has to offer. Okay, now that we know all this, what I want to talk about is to help you integrate all of this in your daily life. But before we do that, remember that if you want other like-minded souls like you and be in a community of people like you, come into the Facebook group Rewired to Align, because it's going to not only help you but support you. And also it's good. You can find expanders, people that are going to expand you through their experience. And the best part is that we all can share the journey together. Community, my friend, community. And if you have been thinking of coaching, jump in and work with me. The last quarter of the year is upon us. This last quarter is fall and winter, right? Together. It's about letting go. So come and work with me so that you can start the new year fresh. One clarity session will help you a lot, but a bundle of sessions will be super transformational. I'm going to leave the link in the show notes for you. Now, let's go into the last part of the episode. So you might be thinking, okay, now that I know this, Michelle, and that's powerful, thank you very much, but how do I actually integrate this into my daily life? Well, friend, I'm going to give you 3 ways you can integrate everything. Number 1, daily reflection. Even if you do it in the morning, or if you do it at night, or if you do it in the middle of the day, but just taking 5 minutes each morning, which is my favorite time of day to do this, to reflect on your guiding beliefs, will be transformational. You can journal about what you trust in, what do you hope for, and what feels bigger than yourself. You are reconnecting to your inner wisdom, right? The second thing you can do is mindful practices. Whether it's meditation, whether it's prayer, or a simple gratitude practice that I told you that it will take you to a higher vibe, engages your mind and nervous system in a rhythm that reinforces faith. Also, when you meditate and you pray, you also regulate. You feel calmer, you feel secure, you're grounding yourself in safety. And number 3, decision making. And this is an active thing to do. Align your choices with your spiritual values. And do you know your spiritual values, or your alignment code, your values? Those values that are the GPS of your life. If you don't, I believe this episode 9, this episode can guide you in finding that. So every time you act from faith instead of fear, you're strengthening the neural pathways of confidence, of self-trust, and emotional resilience. And remember, this is not about being perfect. This is about consistently creating small moments where your brain experiences security, connection, and hope. This is what we need. And over time, these moments, what happen? They compound, right? And it start to transform your mindset. It start to transform your emotional state and even the way you navigate life. This is where change happens. When you start doing these practices, all of a sudden, you're going to feel and see eventually that you are in a better state and that you have been creating changes in your life. Okay? Now, let's circle back to those opening questions. Think about one area in your life where you can consciously choose faith over fear. Do you have that one area? It can be in, I don't know, career and finances or relationships or wellness. I mean, you decide one area in your life that you can consciously choose faith over fear. Feel the shift in your body. Perhaps you feel a deepening in your chest, or you feel your shoulders relax a little. And you know what that is? That's your nervous system responding to trust. Because remember, our nervous system and our brain are not here, like our brain is not here to make us happy. It's here to keep us safe. So when you feel the shift in our body, on your body, the nervous system is responding to trust. And here is why. When you choose faith over fear, what is happening is that your brain sends signals to your body that you are safe. And that little part that I mentioned before, your amygdala, the one that triggers stress and fight or flight, it begins to quiet down. And at the same time, your parasympathetic nervous system, the one that we've talked about, that is often called the rest and restore system, it switches on. That's why you might feel your breath slow down and your muscles relax and your heart becomes steady, right? And in that moment, you're not just thinking about trust. What you're doing is that you're embodying it. And this is very important also when we are doing inner child work. We want to bring that inner child safety and security. And the way to know this is when you are seeing all these physical changes in yourself. And every time that you return to that state, what you're doing is that you're training your brain and body to respond to life from a place of calm instead of from a place of survival mode. So you are responding and not reacting. You are consciously creating instead of being a reactor to your life. So now that you know all this, you see how spiritual belief is not just a feeling. It's not just a feeling. It's not just a feeling. It's a tool. It's a practice. It's a neurological reset, my friend. When you integrate faith into your daily life, you are not just hoping for the best. You are training your brain to support resilience, clarity, even sovereignty. And it is out there. You can find it in different, again, research studies. You can read a little bit more about it, and I'm going to leave that to you. If you want to go through that route, you can find it. Again, look for the Dr. Lisa Miller that I mentioned, the Columbia University professor. You can go to her Instagram page. You can go to her website. You can see it since she's the founder of the Spirituality Mind Body Institute. You can go to their website. You can see in Harvard Medical School all the research documents about that. So it is a necessary thing for you to have faith, to have that in your life, because it's going to support you. It's going to grow you, and it's going to bring resilience into your life. So as you move through this week, what I want you to do is pause and take a deep breath and ask yourself, in what area of your life can you trust the unseen? In what area of your life can you be faithful? and watch your mind respond to this. Is there any resistance to this? If so, explore it. Explore why do you have resistance. And if not, just immerse yourself in faith. Your faith is stronger than you realize, and your brain is ready to meet that faith. Remember, when you do this, when you do these practices that I've told you, I want you to share them with me. Share your insights, share your aha moments, because I am here behind the microphone. But when I see that these tools that I give you work for you, I want to hear that. I want to hear your feedback. I want to read your feedback. You can DM me, and my favorite place of hangout, that is Instagram. So you can do that. My handle is Michelle Mari Pacheco, and I hope that we are following each other, or that you're following me. That's my coaching account, and you can find a lot of information over there. Okay, beautiful. So that's all I have for today. I hope that this episode serves and blesses you. And if this resonated with you, what I want you to do, and the way that you can support me and my work, is that I invite you to share this with your friends and your family. This is the easiest way that you can help me. This episode or the podcast completely, just share it with your friends and family. You can also take a screenshot of the episode, and I will repost it on my account. Just share it. Sharing is caring. Remember to live in alignment with your authenticity is a journey, and we are here all going through that journey. And you, my friend, remember, you are magic. I am sending you love, and I look forward to be with you next week. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I love creating it. If what you heard helped you, the number one way you can thank me is by leaving a review on Apple Podcasts. My mission is that you feel empowered and more spiritually connected after listening, so your feedback means the world to me. Just scroll down to where it says write a review and leave me yours. And if you love what NeuroSoulSync is about, please share with your family and friends. I believe the world becomes a better place when we come together collectively to make the change. I look forward to be with you next week.